Hello. Now we're going to show you how to make felted buttons, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So for the first part of this activity, we're only going to have dry materials. So no water or soap yet. You've each been given some wool roving. This fluffy, wonderful smelling wool has come from sheep. We are going to make this into little buttons. Would you like to pick the colors you're going to use? There's some blue and some pink.
How much colors do we need?
Maybe one more if you feel like it. We are going to use my tiny muffin tins. These are for mini muffins, but you can also use large muffin tins. These ones make the cutest little buttons. We're going to take our wool and slowly fluff it. It's nice and soft. Now we're going to set it in our muffin tin in a little spiral. See? I wrapped it around the muffin tin. Around the outside of the muffin tin. See? And then,
How do you do that?
you can do this by wrapping it around your finger and then placing it in the muffin tin. Not very tight though, just very, very loose. Wrapping it around the outside. And wrapping it around our fingers gently and placing it into the muffin tin. Here. Let's see what we've made so far. Lucas could use a little bit more. And this one has 2 colors. And this one just has one for now, wrapped around the outside. And I'm going to wrap and set it in the center. There. Now that they're prepared, you can set aside any extra wool that you have.
Wait, this one's big. Okay.
You can set aside all of the extra dry wool that you have because you don't want to get it wet unless you're felting it. So put that aside and go get your soap and your water. For our next step, you will need hand soap. Hand soap or dish soap will work fine. Clean, warm water. Warm or cold will work, but warm is more pleasant for your hands. And a dry towel. And of course, your product. It's not felt yet. It becomes felt when we work it. Right now it's still wool roving. Did you know that? Here, scoot closer. Okay. So you will only need the tiniest drop in each one that you work on. And you'll just need a little splash. Each one. When you begin, you start by gently tapping. See? Gently tap, 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 tap. Here you are. Tap it all the way down and get it kind Now here's an example where this one, perfect amount of water and soap for now. This one needs a little bit more water because it's still too fluffy.
This one also barely has any.
Now tap, tap, tap. Keep tapping and don't give up. Don't give up yet. You have to tap for quite a while. There we go. Well, we felt we can even sing our little work song. This is the way we tap our wool. Tap our wool, tap our wool. This is the way we tap our wool. Early in the morning.
Not actually early.
Early in the afternoon. Now, you will know that you have tapped it enough for the next step when you can pull it out and it does not immediately fall apart. The next step, gently squeeze out the water and you will have a little squishy, soapy piece of felt. Now it's starting to become soft felt. You want to put it in the palm of your hand and start tapping like a little golf clap. This is called a golf clap. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
So when you're on the golf course, you need to clap really quietly. So this is a quiet golf clap.
I made a tiny nest.
This is the way we packed our wool. Packed our wool, packed our wool. This is the way we packed our wool. Early in the afternoon.
Did they use it with this
So
they don't be so loud?
you are ready to move on to the final step. When it gets firm enough to kind of tug and it doesn't fall apart, put it in your hand. Put your other hand on top and gently start rubbing it together. Rub, rub, rub.
Is it okay if it turns like...
See, it gets a little smaller. Now you can stop at any size you want to. This one I've just begun, and it's still nice and floppy. But if you really want to,
I'll make it tiny.
if you really want to, you can make it really tiny. Into a little tiny button. See how that's getting smaller and smaller? To a tiny button. This almost looks like a little heart button.
Oh.
Look at that. You know, I think I'm going to leave it right there because it looks like we've made a little heart button. With the next one, let's see what happens.
Like a circle.
Yeah, yours is like a little circle. We'll pat our next one. Look at yours is turning into a nice button. This one's starting to turn into a soft button. If this isn't working and it's making your button too wobbly, you can just use your fingers to rub that into a button. Ooh, look at Luke made a button. What are you going to use your button for? Now you can use these to sew them onto your clothing or to pin them to your clothing. But But you can also use these in your play. Chloe, little 6-year-old Chloe, likes to use them as stepping stones for her little animals. You can put them in your fairy garden to decorate your fairy garden. What would you use these little buttons for?
Stepping stones.
Stepping stones for the fairies? Yeah, they could be stepping stones for the fairies.
I said they could be stepping stones for
Little gnomes?
Yeah.
Stepping stones for the gnomes. These are wonderful ideas. You can even keep coming up with different ideas as time goes on. If you have any questions, go ahead and add to the comments and I'll let you know my answers. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.